Then, thank you very much. Let's go back to our top story, shall we, where the Tunisian president has fired his interior minister and ordered the release of all those detained in recent clashes. For more on this story, we're joined by Dr. Radwan Masmoudi. He's the president of the Centre for the Study of Islam and Democracy. He visits Tunisia regularly and joins me live here in the studio. Dr. Masmoudi, let's just remind our viewers what's behind these demonstrations in Tunisia, because they started off as economic protests, but they've spread to a much wider thing, haven't they?
Well, they started out about 4 weeks ago with demonstrations, local demonstrations about economic rights, about employment, especially by the youth. But since then, I think they've grown in size and in scope, in that a lot of people now, a lot of different groups have joined these demonstrations, in particular students, labor unions, and political parties are now joining these demonstrations, and they have also turned more political in their demands because people see corruption as the main problem in Tunisia, and so there is a tie between economic development and political institutions to guard against corruption.
It is extraordinary, though, because we've seen this huge change of direction by the government. The president calling the demonstrators, terrorists,
yes,
committing acts of terror. Now he sacked the interior minister and possibly now the chief of police, and now he wants all those who've been detained to be released. So what's behind this shift?
I think it has finally dawned down on President Ben Ali that these demands are not going to go away. And I think he's starting to realize that he needs to make some serious changes, not only in people, but in policies. So today's developments reflect a change, really, for the first time in 4 weeks, in direction, I think, from the government.
I mean, he has announced some reforms, but is that going to be enough, do you think?
I don't think so. I think it's a beginning, but I think the demands are much greater for greater reforms, for real, genuine democracy. I honestly think that Tunisia can become the first real democracy in the Arab world, and it should become. I think this is what really all Tunisians want. We want political institutions, political reforms that will guarantee that Tunisia will move forward on a path of economic reform, but also political reforms.
So, I mean, is this people power working?
It seems to be working. It's actually exciting. The demonstrations have been overwhelmingly peaceful. This is very encouraging. The Tunisian government is starting to realize that it has to respect the will of the people and listen to the people, and that's also very encouraging. Peaceful demonstrations have great power.
Let's just look at, finally, just the wider picture here in terms of international reaction to events in Tunisia. We've seen the EU has already condemned the Tunisian government for being heavy-handed,
yes,
against the protesters. I mean, does the international community need to be doing more to pressure the government, do you think?
I think it does. I think we need an international investigation into the killing and the shots that were fired. Almost 50 people have been killed so far, and that's a large number, especially considering that these were peaceful demonstrations. We need, I think, an investigation into what happened, and some people need to be brought to justice so that it's not repeated. I think the European Union, the United States, could possibly send a delegation to visit Tunisia to meet with the government, but also meet with various other groups and unions, and try to foster and promote a peaceful resolution to the conflict.
Okay, Dr. Radwan Masmoudi, thank you very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, there are reports of 5 police officers being killed in clashes in Côte d'Ivoire. It's the second day